that was sexually harassed for years. Years. Bullied, intimidated, sexually harassed for years. And I'm gonna be painted as the villain because y'all have deified this person. He tries to shake and grab your equipment.
I just know that. Diddy's legal team is probably wishing they never took him on as a client because things are getting worse and worse. Now, Diddy's freak-off escort has confirmed that Diddy allegedly tried to force Christian Keys to be his boy toy and victimized him. This is interesting because back in 2023, Christian came out to say that a billionaire Hollywood mogul allegedly tried to force Christian into an uncomfortable situation and tried to assault him. He didn't exactly come out to name the person, but he gave us enough clues to make us suspect that it was Diddy, but we never really got any confirmation until now. Keys did not hold anything back, and this is going to be a mess, so let's get into the drama. If you have been following Diddy's trial, you are already aware that things are not going well for him. The prosecution has been making a strong case against him, and they have been hitting him hard. Things became very messy when they brought in one of Diddy's former escorts who participated in those freak-offs. His name is Charlie Hayes, also known as the Punisher, and he had a lot to say. He claimed that it all began in 2012 when he was hired to choreograph an exotic dance for Diddy and Cassie. From there, things quickly got out of hand when the prosecutors questioned him. He told me about his first encounter with Cassie, including how she looked, how she behaved, and what happened. He said that she was in a bathroom with nothing underneath and a wig. I thought there would be a crowd, but there wasn't. She told me that she and her husband wanted to make a scene with baby oil, and the room was dimly lit with electric candles and bowls of water with bottles of baby oil in them. She told me not to look at her husband when he came out and that he was naked, but I could only see his eyes like a Muslim woman wears. He also had a bottle of Estroglide. When the prosecution asked him how the encounter ended, he said, "In the same room as him." She asked whether I wanted to finish when she returned, and I replied, "No. If they were happy, I was happy. I'd be reached out to at 5 or 7 p.m. Later, they'd ask for a sexy scene, but I knew it would be more baby oil and a sexy atmosphere. Mr. Combs would direct. Mr. Combs might say, 'Sit forward and move the camera,'" she said, adding that he did the same thing 8 or 12 other times with Diddy and Cassie. This is where things really took a turn, because that's when he started breaking down exactly how those so-called freak-offs would play out. Or, as you may recall, he once stated, "I like this," when the prosecutor asked how much baby oil they used while dropping a stack of cash. When asked how long the freak-offs lasted, he said, "A lot. We were supposed to be glistening as much as possible." He added there was a lot of waiting, maybe 40 minutes or so, and I was supposed to finish in a specific spot. He also said that after the freak-off was finished, Cassie would leave with Mr. Combs for 10 or 15 minutes, return in a bathrobe, and pay me $2,000 or $1,200 in cash. So he did not hesitate to spill the tea. And the prosecution did not take long to lead him to other freaks of participants. And to our utter surprise, he named Christian Keys as one of the men Diddy allegedly coerced into participating in freak-offs. He said that, although he's very open-minded to doing a lot of weird and kinky things in the bedroom, coercing an unwilling participant is not on his list of things he's into. However, he claimed that once, when he was allegedly intoxicated during one of the freakouts, he boasted about taking advantage of younger men in the industry. And one Christian Keys is purportedly one of the names that the Punisher recalls. Diddy boasting about? Even before Cassie's lawsuit, there was a lot of suspicion that Diddy was creeping on younger men in the industry. So this is an interesting turn of events because in 2023, Christian came out and revealed that he had allegedly been taken advantage of by a powerful man in the industry. The problem with Diddy and all these SA allegations is that his name has essentially become one of the first to come up whenever someone talks about being SA'd by a powerful figure in the industry. Hollywood, no matter how things turn out, Legally, there will always be that cloud of suspicion hanging over him. Sometimes for good reason. Sometimes just because his name has become synonymous with this kind of mess, which is exactly what's been happening with this whole Christian Keys situation from the beginning. It's not that he's involved in every case, but his reputation has taken such a serious hit that people can't help but speculate. Even when there isn't a direct connection to it, broke. Everyone is now side-eyeing the situation, and for those of you who haven't been following the Christian Keys drama, take a seat and settle in because the information I'm about to reveal is hot in 2023. Diddy's name was immediately brought up, with people accusing him of forcing Christian into one of those notorious freak-offs. When Christian Keys felt it was time to speak his truth, he went live on Instagram and revealed for the first time that he had been questioned by a millionaire connected to the Hollywood industry. It truly rocked a lot to see him expose something so difficult and intimate on such a large platform. Many people, and it generated a lot of discussion and conjecture about who the mystery billionaire might be. Now, let's be clear, Christian wasn't some newcomer vying for influence. He's been around for a while and has established a solid reputation, especially in the black entertainment industry. He's one of those actors who may not always be in the spotlight, but he consistently works well in the industry and is undoubtedly doing well for himself. Just because he isn't trending doesn't mean he hasn't left his mark. And that's precisely what made his revelation so potent. He wasn't speaking out for attention. He was finally standing up for Christian. Says the alleged incident happened about 15 years ago and people listened. He says the billionaire tried to assay him, but he was able to fight it off and stop it before it got any worse. However, just because he resisted doesn't mean it ended there. Before anyone jumps to conclusions and accuses Christian of merely chasing money or trying to pull a cash grab, he made sure to quickly put an end to those rumors because he was very clear from the beginning that this wasn't about money. Christian claimed that the billionaire continued to approach him, pressuring and bothering him even after their initial encounter. Benefit for him, Christian made it clear that he didn't intend to handle this through gossip or social media drama alone. If he was going to come forward and name names, he planned to take it seriously by going to the authorities and letting the proper legal channels deal with it. For Christian, this was about accountability and making sure that justice was served, not about profit or publicity. He didn't have any plans to file a civil lawsuit, wasn't looking for any kind of settlement, and didn't want to turn this into some sort of profit or publicity. Interviews.
Years, bullied, intimidated, actually harassed for years. And I'm gonna be painted as the villain because y'all have deified this person. And some of the people that you think are your mentors are literally and figuratively just trying to...
This is undoubtedly an intriguing move because Christian's decision to take the matter to the police may lead to a criminal investigation against the billionaire. However, things get complicated because, given that the alleged incident occurred approximately 15 years ago, it's likely that the statute of limitations has already passed, meaning that no criminal charges can be brought against the billionaire. However, since Diddy is currently on trial and the accusations against him are strong, Christian has a very high chance of being asked to testify. Christian also mentioned that although the original essay may be too old to prosecute, the continuance could keep the case alive in a legal sense, because the harassment persisted after the initial encounter and continued for a while. If the harassment occurs in a more recent period, it could potentially result in charges being brought forward. This is a complex situation with many legal nuances. Christian seemed more focused on exposing this individual and maybe ruining their career than he was on seeking money or engaging in legal disputes. Additionally, Christian shared a terrifying account of one specific incident in which this person allegedly got him drunk at a house party. According to Christian, after getting him drunk, the billionaire attempted to assault him. This wasn't just about one moment. There was a pattern of manipulation that made this all the more serious. To Truth be told, no matter how messy or damaging it might be for the billionaire involved, he wanted people to know exactly what kind of person they were dealing with, and wasn't afraid of the consequences that might come from sharing his story. Another disturbing incident in which a man showed up at his house and offered him $100,000 to watch him strip. What was even more unsettling was that the man didn't want to be close or intimate with Christian in any way. Instead, he just wanted to sit back and watch him undress. It was an odd and uncomfortable situation that made Christian feel used and objectified, which added even more strange and controlling behavior to the billionaire's alleged actions.
And offered me $100,000 to take my clothes off. He said, "I don't even need to touch you. I just want to see you naked." I declined.
This also brings to mind Diddy's freak-offs and the allegations that, according to another escort named Daniel Phillip, Diddy would occasionally want to watch while some bizarre things were happening. According to some sources, Diddy would force him to perform certain acts on Cassie while he watched. Combs once led Phillip and Vento through a role-playing exercise, saying, "We were not very good at that at all." And Phillip claimed that Combs would frequently tell Phillip and Vento to rub more baby oil and a straw-glide lubricant on the table whenever he met with Ventura and Combines. Oil on each other, and he would tell Phillip where and when to finish. He was always sitting in the corner, touching himself, according to Phillip's account of Combs. The reports also claimed that Combs had recorded him having sex with Ventura on a cell phone and camcorder on one occasion, when Phillip pretended to finish after Combs told him to do so inside Ventura. Combs then brought Ventura into the bedroom, and he repeatedly asked Phillip if he was certain he had finished, which supports Christian's claim that the billionaire offered $100,000 after viewing him strip. Yes, that's definitely odd to say the least. Although Christian never gave away the identity, he left a few strong hints that have fans acting like amateur investigators to try and figure out who it might be. For example, he claimed that the person was a black billionaire in Hollywood, which significantly reduced the number of black billionaires in that circle. In addition, Christian stated that the person is well known for being a philanthropist who gives back kindly to the black community. He even mentioned that the individual supports HBCU, a historically black college and university. This is a fairly specific detail. These hints have only stoked rumors and kept people wondering who the accusers are. Fingers quickly began pointing at Diddy once more, as seen by the few months before Christian made his accusations public. Diddy's $1 million donation to Jackson State University and HB made news. CU, since Diddy is the only black billionaire in Hollywood known to have recently made a public donation to an HBCU. That donation garnered a lot of attention, which is precisely why people believe Christian included the detail about the billionaire giving back to HBCU. Everyone was pointing fingers at him and connecting the dots. So yes, things were definitely beginning to fall into place. However, Christian had more to share. He explained that after everything that had happened to him, he had decided to always bring covert recording devices to meetings with the billionaire. This wasn't a haphazard decision. Rather, it was a means of protecting himself and obtaining reliable proof in the event that he ever felt the need to speak out in public or seek justice through the legal system. Christian was aware that he was facing a formidable opponent, so possessing those recordings may offer indisputable evidence of what had transpired behind closed doors. He still has the tapes, which would demonstrate that he is speaking the truth. This is a really complicated situation, and some people have even come out to support him, for instance. When we first met, perhaps 15 years ago, you told me that you would come forward one day, and you did. I am so proud of you. Do not beat yourself up for waiting. It's difficult, especially as a man. I know it's scary, Claudia Jordan wrote. She went on, congratulations to you for not going along to get along and being able to look at yourself in the mirror as you shave in the morning. Other men and women will be saved and feel heard because of your bravery. Love you, friend. It was awkward and uncharted territory, but you succeeded. I will support you on this as your friend because I know it's true, because this is the same vibe, tone, and story you shared from 2008. This does not appear to be beneficial for Diddy, particularly since Christian says he still has the receipts for his conversations with the billionaire in question. However, rumors are circulating that the prosecutors are trying to coerce Christian into testifying. And if that occurs, Diddy may want to have custom jail jumpsuits made for him, because he will be gone for a very long time.